has always been his rock. Helped him go through the process in terms of selecting representation, guiding him through the process, and ended up choosing Wilmer Jackson Spencer as his agent.
Now you're seeing Mitch Kupchak.
Yep.
And I'm always curious, like, so much discussion about whether Scoot Henderson would be the second pick or Brandon would be the second pick. And if you think of the Charlotte organization, that's going to be a couple free throws. Like, you have LaMelo in the backcourt. You agree right now with principal to his next long-term deal. It could be worth $260 million. What would that backcourt have looked like if you indeed had selected Scoot? Obviously, you go the other direction. And I'm curious, you think about LaMelo and games played last year, obviously only 36 games.
Here's a look at the depth chart. LaMelo, Rozier, McGowan's on the book night, the guards, Simmons and Bailey here as well. Yeah, it's interesting, Dorrance, you bring up a great point because they brought back Scoot and Brandon Miller a second time right before the draft to get in another workout in front of the discerning eyes of the management like Mitch Kupchak and the governor, Michael Jordan, the owner of the team still, even though he's agreed to sell it.
It's just an aspect of NBA basketball that I find fascinating. I think we've all learned, right, that putting together three superstars doesn't always translate to an NBA championship. You look at the Denver Nuggets, a well-constructed roster, an organization that showed patience with young talent. Right. Jamal Murray gets hurt. He goes to Michael Malone and says, are you guys going to trade me? No. We're going to let you get healthy. We're going to continue to show patience. The organization doesn't overreact, sticks with Michael Malone, and eventually gets into a championship.
Yep. There's a look at Bridges, who recently signed his qualifying offer with the Hornets. Back in the mix.
How do the Spurs approach? I'm sorry, I'm just sort of like thinking big picture. How do the Spurs? So that's Charlotte's side.
Yeah.
Does Brian Wright have a vision for what they need around Victor Wembanyama, or do you have to let him play for a year and figure it out? It's something I don't necessarily understand that I'm always intrigued by.
How do you build it, right?
Correct.
How do you add those pieces?
Yes, and when do those thought processes start taking shape? Like, how much of a vision do they have? We hope to have the GM here at the table, Brian Wright, shortly. So listen, I'm going to pepper him.
We've all been on the other end of trying to pepper that guy.
Mark one too many times for me.
I still got the burn marks, man. Greg Popovich off the steal. Good anticipation by Book Night. Raising up and punching it home. So Book Night now catching fire in the second half. He's got 7. And the lead is down to 11. Penny, little dribble handoff action. Wesley sprays it out in a bucket. Good shot by Branham. San Antonio has always been one of those teams that have been able to find and unearth gems. And you think about Summer League several years ago, Doris, you and I have been here for a while. I think about Gary Neal, who emerged as a Spurs star here and won. Blake Wesley with the layup. R.C. Buford and Coach Popovich with discerning eyes.
Branham has had one heck of a half, and Mr. Wesley, he's been at the cup all night.